about business in this space, like trying to build networks and all that. I've learned a lot from this guy. And everybody gets to see the Justin that's on stage and does all that stuff, the good looking guy, with the nice smile. But what they don't know is when you get to ride the severe board back with him, you get to know the real Justin. And not only is he a good guy on stage, this is a good guy behind the scenes. Justin and I are working on a project that's been a little bit fun. Let's use that as a word. We're working on something. You're going to see how cool this is. We'll talk a lot about it because it's really cool. You're going to see something really cool. It has nothing to do with networking, branding, marketing. It's just doing properly good. It's super cool. But what I like about Justin is the guy you see here, the guy you're at the club. Okay. Everybody in this room that I invited today, the person you saw today is the same person you'll have a one-on-one with. Richard Brooke, I've been there home. You know, Megan, I've had several meetings with her at her office. I've met with Nick at her office. Brenda, I do business with lots of folks in this room. But what I like about this opportunity today is that not just like the last event we did, I got to open my little life door. I got to introduce you to some cool people that, you know, I guess you do. And to be honest with you, I wouldn't be anywhere in my business right now if it weren't for a lot of you. Because they have referred business to me. I could probably put a number on it at 6 figures. Does that make sense? I'm not talking about money in my pocket. I'm talking about total revenue. Could be $500,000. That's a lot of money. If you want to grow your business, get connected with people that want to help you grow your business. Yeah. Kind of this foundation helped me when I do my podcast. I send people to them. You understand? That's just how this works. But anyway, I don't want to take you more of your time when you're taking up a lot. If I see you leaving out that door without doing a video, it's very famous. But I don't have to introduce most of you to Justin. Most of you know Justin, but I just am so thankful you're here today. And again, this guy here, I know he hangs out in the real space and the investment space, but he knows a lot about marketing because that's what he does for a living. So please.
I want to thank you, PJ. No, it's we don't need to. Not really worried about it, honestly. This is better, right? Because Brian asked me to come in and just wrap this up and synthesize everything that you talked about today. That's what I am a facilitator, I'm a connector, and I'm a communicator. I happen to make money by consulting individuals, primarily by investments. Sometimes it's real estate. Sometimes I just help negotiate a brand partnership between people that want to produce a Lord of the Rings licensed whiskey, right? Ooh, exciting stuff. Really, really cool. Really, really. That was a fun conversation. I got to walk around Sugar Land's facility, and they've got the largest copper still in whiskey makers in the U.S. It's right here in our backyard. We're in a really unique place where we are a small town, right? We are this little dot in the center of Appalachia, in the poorest part of the country, remote area medical. Low headquartered right here, right? So they provide. We actually worked. Linda and I heard that. Yeah. We volunteered there. Yeah. Yes, we volunteered there for Red Dead. That's right. And we have a Panda headquarters. There's the South Knoxville. Remote area medical, if you're not aware of them, right? They provide medical services in areas that don't have them, like Haiti, like other countries, and like Appalachia. That's the reality of where we live. And we're also, Oak Ridge National Laboratory here. 6 of the labs are here, right? The University of Tennessee is an incredible university. There's all kinds of money, prosperity, and opportunity here, side by side with, right? Some wretched poverty. Just want to do some of the second harvest. That's just the reality. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to start off with an exercise. Then we're going to talk about gratitude. We're going to do this exercise because I want to show you some things as we go along, and then it's going to make some sense. Because everything that I have done in my career is not because I'm like a great networker or something like that. I really am not. Art earlier, I think he's a much better networker than me. He has a system. I bet he has a better real estate business that he applies more consistently because he's more focused, right? I've been coming to groups. Rich knew me back then. I wasn't anything like amazing. I got to network on behalf of other people, which most people don't get to do. That's a unique skill, I think, but it's just, I'm a result of a bunch of experiences. But I got to go network on behalf of other people and organizations and become essentially a spokesperson. And that gave me purpose and conviction and clarity. And when you have those things, which I find very difficult to figure out for my personal life, right? My dreams, my secret dreams, I'm going to share those with people, right? Of who I want to be in my life, who I think I could be in my life, because I deserve that. But man, when I have to act on behalf of somebody else, everything that I've ever done, every bit of grit, every bit of resilience comes out, and like amazing, spectacular things happen in a very short amount of time right here in Knoxville. I'll tell the story with you. Charles has seen that, but it wasn't because I was like set out. I was like, I'm going to go network and build a really big business so I can sell a lot of houses because I don't really care about that much, to be honest with you guys. I'm just not very motivated by money. So I didn't think a lot for a long time. So here's this exercise. We're going to all pair up with one person. Grab the person closest to you. So let's do this very quickly. Pair up? Yeah. Okay? Look at each other. You're going to look at each other. Right there you go. Got behind you. All right, here's what we're going to do. All right. The person who is closest to this wall on my right. All right? Your job is not to react. All right? The person who's closest to this wall. Raise your hand if you're the person closest to this wall, so it's clear in your partnership who that is. Anybody need a partner? Yes. Megan, need a partner? Yes. Okay. Do it with big shoes. Jump in. All right. The other person, raise your hands. All right. Your job is to smile. So here's what you're going to do. The person on this side of the room, you're going to make eye contact with this other person for 30 seconds. And you're going to smile. And this person, your job is not to react. You are not trying to react. It's like Great face. We're going to start. All right, you guys ready? Three, 2, 1.
Smiling, not laughing.
Who's gonna? All right. Should I stop this? I don't think anyone made it through 30 seconds.
It is.
Who lasted the longest, you think? You had this thing. Awesome. Yeah, you're practicing, not smiling. No. All right. Move the other way. Move the other way, right? Okay. Together now. You know what to expect. Go the other way. 3, 2, 1. All right, let's roll with the stuff. Okay.
It's like the only way. It's also the stair I use my wife.
Awesome. What did we just discover? Right? We are highly influenced by our environment. Okay? Highly influenced by our environment. It is very difficult for us not to react with positive emotions in our environment. There's great sociological research on this, okay? So if you think you're not affecting your environment, you are lying to yourself. Right? One day is going to be our last day on this planet, and I promise you're not going to be worried about business, right? It is going to be, was I present in that day for the people that I care about? That is it. That is it. The last day of your life is probably not going to be anything special, right? That's okay. We're all going to die. That is a wonderful unifying thing about all of us. Truly. Truly. Right? I was a great book major at Notre Dame. Like, I love philosophy. So when I think about some of these things, it's like it just came to me naturally. I didn't realize like I was preparing myself by studying the greatest philosophers in the history of the Western world. Man, that really helps with mindset. Like it's a cheat code, and I did a lot of dumb things where I wasn't applying this, but that in terms of the way my mind worked, I prepped it all. I laid these tracks for myself. So here's an affirmation that I share. I want some gratitude. It's I give everywhere I go, even if it's just a smile, a compliment, or my full attention. Listening is the best gift I can give other people. Right? And so the whole point of all of this, is we teach the 7 levels of wealth at GRID. It is a framework for building a business. My business partner sold $1 billion in real estate. He's got, I think, like 21 entities right now. Right? He started running an investor meetup 17 years ago because he wanted to hit his activity goal. I have to have a certain number of conversations for my business. So why do I come to networking? Well, man, because I can get like 50 in one. And if I host it myself, then I can really plus it. I can capture all of it. That's it. It's just a way to cheat on the activity. Like, how do I get it as a natural output? And then he thought about what kind of hooks would get people to come in there. And we're going to teach on certain topics. That became what we did. We take you on the life cycle of the investment. So we start off with the bottom level of that is mindset. It is mindset. Like, how do I go from having an employee mindset to an entrepreneurial mindset? How do I adopt that identity that I'm a business owner, right? And I feel comfortable telling people I'm a business owner. And I feel comfortable. Who here is a salesperson? I used to be like, I'm not a salesperson, you know what I mean? And then I redefined my definition of a salesperson. Instead of like reading you and being like, hey, I'm not sleazy and I'm not like pushy and I just stopped warning people because when I go on dates, I don't reassure women, hey, I'm not a creep. You know what I mean? It's really simple. I don't have to tell you what I'm not because I show you who I am, right? This is track. Let's do this real quick. Who's got something they're grateful for? All right, I love this. Interesting. Right. Awesome. Charles. Wow. Excellent. Brenda. Linda.
My new eyesight.
Yeah. I love that one. How many of us take that for granted? Let's get eyesight here, right? I had something happen to me like 3 weeks ago where I was like, oh, I can no longer read like very, very small things. I just went to vision my entire life. I was like, oh, that's fast. There's your light up. I can't read my phone in the movie theater. Yeah. Learn it.
I am thankful for my wife.
I love it. Yes, that's great. Joy.
I'm thankful for today because none of you are promised tomorrow.
That's right.
So always remember, if you can plan for the future, but live for today.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Who's got another one?
My talent. My talent.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Let's not take that for granted, right? We were given something in this country where like I had something special inside me that meant education and opportunity, right? It was nurtured and grew. Right? If you make more than 34,000, you're in the top 1% globally. Okay? So everybody in this room, sometimes it's a matter of perspective, It's a matter of perspective. Base camp at Everest is one of the highest peaks in the world, right? It's just about perspective. I'm looking back to where I've come as the gap versus the king. So I just want to share this with you. This is practical stuff. It's not rah. Like, we start with the practice of gratitude. So I do something I call Sanctity Grace. I ask everybody, any meal I'm at, what are you grateful for? Okay? You know why I do this? I used to do it a bunch. And then I went and I was at a real estate conference. And Serena Dua. Serena's an amazing agent. She's out of Portland. She speaks on stage because during COVID, she went back to MIT and got an MBA from Portland. She got an MBA like in machine learning while she was running a real estate team. Okay, selling like, her 80 homes a year. And so I met Serena, connected with her, right? Because I asked her once we could make friends. And then we were at dinner, and she was like, "Oh, watch, Justin's gonna make you do this thing." These other people were reminded. I was not going to. I forgot about it that day. So then I asked everybody what we're grateful for. Because what I want people to do is thank you, Vernon, for lying. Talk about how handsome I am. I know I'm not because I showed my girlfriend some pictures of what I used to look like. And the reaction was very, it was like, you look like that. I don't know if I'm going through perimenopause. That's what she does. Like, so it's not there. It was like, you need to lose some weight. That's a very different looking guy. I want that to be because, like, that's what it is, right? I'm so brilliant, such a good speaker. I traveled around doing it's what I was doing, but I traveled around speaking to young professionals groups. And I asked them, like, one of the things you do in Bold is they make you text people and you say, why are you my friend? I highly recommend you all do it. Pull your phone out. Be brave enough to text somebody today, 5 of your friends, and ask why are you my friend? We'll hear things about yourself. I promise you do not expect. There's very few of them are going to be like the things that I think, you know what I mean, are the list of things. So I asked them, why would you want to hear me speak? One person had something that was like business, or like a specific business related answer. You know what I mean? Like, oh, your operation strategy. Every other person was because you're vulnerable, because you're genuine, and I can tell you really, since you really care about every single person in the room. So I was like, cool, they're preparing for a speech. Yeah. So that's what you got today. Because I'm like, oh, I can do that. Like, my job is to care. Oh, I'm always for care. I can do that my whole life. I never know to make money, but I knew I cared. And it was difficult. It was very challenging because I would go in and I meet people and I get so excited about like connection. And it was so much more exciting talking about other people that already had something going on than doing the work of wherever I was, right, as a peon. You know what I mean? And so I was always so attracted to those conversations, but I had no way to monetize it. I had no way to ask somebody. Art talked about it. I gotta ask people, let them know how they can reward me. That is part of the game of reciprocity, being a go giver. So I gotta make it really clear how I like to be rewarded. And it can be as simple as Troya. We know Troya likes coffee and good wine, right? Yeah. Awesome. It can be just that simple. Like, oh, he told me what he likes. Hey, I love your Knoxville real estate referrals. And that's my part of something. You got to make that clear. Like when you're out here just doing good, you just have to make it clear to everyone. Oh, by the way, I love your Knoxville real estate referrals. By the way, I want to be your solution for foundations. Because people want to reward you, but they don't tell you how to reward you. Does that make sense, y'all? Okay. So I want to give you some actionable stuff. So we talked about mindset, skills, and systems. Let's not burn and set this thing off, right? So I think we just covered mindset. I just want you to know that you matter. The sociological research on this is very clear. Okay. So before the 50s, the suburbs do not exist. Levittown was the first suburb created in the United States, post-war America, right? And that and the GI Bill and the interstate system totally changed the fabric of America. Previously to that, right, we tended to live in the same place. And if you go look also at the sociological data of where you met your spouses back then, it was the majority of people in the same community. If you want to chunk it down even more, same street. And in the cities, chunk it down, same building. Like your grandparents married somebody in the same building as them. Like a very significant minority of them. It's really interesting stuff. And they all got married in their 20s. Now we're getting married later. So you start moving to the suburbs, and there's a book written in the 50s called The Lonely Crowd. It starts talking about this like loneliness that's seeping into society. The books of John Updike talk about that. Robert Run, right? They talk about this suburban and we, right? This like feeling of not quite fitting in because you're not as connected in the fabric of society. During COVID, they study weak bonds and strong social bonds, or tertiary bonds and primary bonds, and they found that people, even people that had like, to Rich's point, like everyone kind of like got their own little group, the cocaine group or the whatever, the family group. Sure. So even people that have like a bubble felt disconnected, and why they felt disconnected is because what makes us feel like we're part of a community is the guy that goes to the bakery at the same time, or the person you say hi to at the gym every day. You don't know their name, but you're a little gym buddy, right? Like those are the things that make us feel part of a community. Those tertiary relationships, the UPS guy that you wave at, right? Those positive social interactions that let you know that you're safe, you're seen. This continues. We're back in the 50s. In the 90s, there was a book called Bowling Alone, right? Same thing, talking about this. And that's before social media. So everyone that you meet, I know factually is craving deeper connections and more connections. And even the connections they have in their lives, they're craving deeper connections since this runs business, right? If this is present, we're not talking about you. Face down, it reduces our feeling of connection. We know that. It's very clear. Does that mean I'm office all the time? No, of course not, right? Because I am, so I kind of overcompensate here. I see how they say, like, just connection alone is the point. This pyramid we talked about, the 7 levels of wealth, the very top of the pyramid is impact. Like, what difference are you gonna make in the world? So everything I've ever done really has been like, I'm so impatient to make an impact, and I couldn't figure out how to get my life together. I kept restarting my life, kept getting sober over and over again. I would be like, awesome, right? Went to Notre Dame, sounds really good. Left Notre Dame, sounds short for drinking. Man, got a felony arrest. Can't pass background checks. Crush interviews. Talk about going to Italy, working on organic farms and vineyards. Like, always been like a real sociable, charming guy, but couldn't pass the background check. So I got to work at Kroger and stock shelves and Ruby Tuesday and do landscaping and, you know, do all the things that happen in this country when you got a felony hanging around, right? Opens you, despite, privileges of background, education, still in the smart, didn't make a difference. Got to go work real hard to let me realize what a joke that is, right? Wasn't really going to change for me. So, this is Spencer. Yes, I'll say for a lot. I said, I'm hungry. So once I decided like being my authentic self was not as important, that's just like making a living and fitting in, which talked about adjusting to the area's expectations. I know what the area's expectations are. So I moved back here, I shut my mouth, I grew my hair out. I said, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. I got off. What I found was no one asked me if I was godless, unfaithful, you know what I mean? Atheistic, like, former alcoholic or drug addict. Not a single time. Because people see what they want to see. They just saw a super polite guy. Right, my man? You met me then.
Yeah, I thought that'd be right away.
Yep. What a polite, nice young man. And so built that business, did some other things there. And so when it came time in 2021, I was back here. Been asked to start running expansion real estate teams. Lots of things happened in between. Um, and so I started Kellerwood Jump Professionals here. And I was told this is the future of our company. And our company is the vanguard of the industry. Keller Williams wrote the book on how to sell real estate. Now you know real estate agent. Many other books. Like, it's the only real estate company I can think of where the CEO's books are at airports. Like, one thing is a great business book if you haven't read it, right? What's the one thing you could do right now, such that by doing it will make everything else easier or unnecessary? Great question, focusing question. If you apply that, this point in your life, it becomes big. So, how to start that chapter? I know it's not for me. Did it accidentally. And then we launched GRID in the same week. And I launched it around another guy, Corey. So I got to do two things, but I wasn't doing them for myself. And it turned out that was a superpower. If I'm acting on behalf of other people, all of that fear, all of those feelings of lack of self-worth, right? All of those like lies I told myself, if people really knew who I was, they would never listen to me or follow me. I would kind of permanently not, I lost the ability to lead anybody. So that's why I spent all those years of my life working behind the scenes for people, running their business, building their brands, going and pretending to be able to be in I groups, acting on their behalf, borrowing their credibility. Like, and now I had to go get into relationships. What does that mean? And realize very quickly, like, well, we want to build an organization that's going to seize our unfair share of opportunity in the leadership environment within KW. We're a giant Fortune 500 company. So what are we going to do? Well, training and education. All right, well, great. So every person I meet that's speaking on stage is somebody that I want to go speak to my community. No one comes here. So I should go talk to them and ask them if they're willing to come speak. But moreover, I got involved with some other groups. Man, there's shoppers all over the country. Would you go and speak anywhere? Because I was connected with the other groups, right? So then I started talking to the most powerful, influential people and just asked them and asked me how I could help them. No one asked us before. I was having conversations no one else was having with everybody with the organization. Does that make sense? It turned out like I had a knack. Like, one of the things when you're networking, if you want to do it at a highly effective level, being the connector is the most effective thing you can do. But to be the best connector requires some skills and some talent. Like I have to be able to understand what you're trying to accomplish, understand where you fit in the ecosystem, and I have to have the ability to kind of mentally map what's happening. Like who are the nodes of power? What are the problems, like Charles said, where you're kind of moving everybody around? What are the sticking points, and how can I solve them for people? When you start doing that, you kind of become invaluable to people, and that's how you build influence. This is not so I did it consciously, but I've been asked to say, like, how did you do this? Because I went and built what I've been told is one of the biggest networks in the country. And I've been told this by people that lead billion-dollar businesses in our industry. Because I've sat there at real estate conferences and I watched them, and there's most of them talking, and one person came to the room that I finally didn't know. Y'all were like, finally, you found somebody you didn't know. That's my experience. It's not like I thought about myself. It just kind of happened accidentally. Because I was running around like a maniac trying to do this for half others. So what I'm sharing that just to kind of give you like, so we do a lot of things at GRID. This happened accidentally. You can do this simply too. It's just what do you have to offer? What is important? What problems do you have to solve? It's actually challenging leading a big community of like 85 people in the room. It's much easier than a small community. It is very hard to sit here and think about 30 people at the same time. But that's not going to come natural. That is like a forced, I did 50 events in 1 year sort of habit where like all of it like reaches out of you. Right? But I did find if you're nervous about public speaking is I was far less nervous when I was speaking on behalf of another organization, okay, or speaking on behalf of a cause that I believed in than I was when I was standing up here and trying to get people to like me. That is very difficult, very, very challenging to do. Again, that is a learned behavior. Like it takes practice. It's not natural to get up and talk about ourselves and promote ourselves, but do it in a funny, skillful way. That's hard. So it's just going to be awkward. Like, but a piece of advice: when you get up, you have an opportunity to get the mic, always use it. Rich had some great points. So even within Kevin Williams Young Professionals, even within GRID, right? We started a little community here. When they let me introduce ourselves, I wasn't Justin from Knoxville. Hey, I'm Justin. I'm from the best church room rental market in the country, East Tennessee. We get more visitors in Yosemite, Yellowstone than Canada Pond. People DM'd me because everyone else is just saying, hi, I'm Steve, right? I am providing content that creates conversations that leads to connection that equates to conversion. Right? There's a deliberate strategy there. So mindset, skills, systems. Level one of our, 7 levels of wealth is mindset. Level two is skills. So if you're engaged in a salesperson of some kind, what are your sales skills? It's a different business. What are the skills to operate the thing that generates you income at a high level, right? Level three is going to be business ownership. Do I know my KPIs? Do I know the things that I can adjust in my business? Like Megan has a good idea of what conversion looks like, right? If I get to this amount of followers, if I reach this amount of accounts, there are some predictable conversion that we can see, right? Does that make sense, y'all? If I have this many conversations, it should equate to this many opportunities for business, right? In this amount of time. Once I'm doing that, and I've got consistent cash machine, level four is I could go and earn the right to invest. Now I've got some passive income to invest. With someone like Cindy and Brenda, it could be in real estate, it could be in another small business, right? That's another reason to network. You are all investors. What do you think you are? And it's investing in your own business, right? I know I can control the ROI on there. I'm going to dump back in there. But then immediately level five is leadership. Now that I've got this, or I've got another thing going on, I have to go on a leadership training because I need leverage. Whether that's an employee, an assistant, it's someone else to run this other investment. I've got to go on a leadership journey. I want to scale that into other businesses to kind of work in alignment with my business, right? And then so I can right back to that impact thing. What I'm telling you today is that you don't have to wait. You don't have to earn the right to be impactful. I promise you that because I did that with. I've gone there with no money in my bank account. I got $1,000 in CEOs left listed to me. So I go up and I introduce myself. and because I know I have conviction that I have something of value to offer them. Does that make sense? Right? Which is like, I'm a real person. So when I'm at the business conference and there's someone that I met, she owns a consulting company that can like headhunts for all of the KW Realty International executives. And she tells me that her executive news, her father's in hospice. Well, then I sit there for an hour and I talk to her. Because what could possibly be more important than that right now? And like, that's it. That is what differentiates you from everyone else. Just be a good person. Be the kind of friend that you would want to be. But it also takes like you have to have the skills to do it and to show up, right? You got to have the authority and the conviction to belong in that room and actually contribute in that room. Like, there was lots and lots of training and an intentional practice that went into that behind the scenes. And that's why it took so long. It's 12-year overnight success. That I worked for all those things for so long, right? So here's the takeaways I got from today. Mindset, skills, systems. I think Art has a really incredible system. This is one of the best systems I've seen in a long time. It is clearly articulated. It is easy to follow. He has a don't overcomplicate this, guys. I would grab this one before we finish. I grab one of these. Like that's one of the best presentations I've heard. I've been doing this a long time. This is what I do: go speak, train, consult, work for other people. So, who has a great takeaway today about mindset? You want to share it with them? What's the takeaway you heard? Love to get to it, Greg. Who's gonna be brave? Yes.
I had something that kind of popped into my head that might not be particularly related to what you're asking about, but when it comes to networking, like, is there a networking system where you have somebody else tell about you? Because that's a lot more. I think that would be just different. And then I can follow it, But that just kind of gives me the confidence that
So testimonial.
yes,
And the short answer is yes, and that is a key component of like what basic groups, these closed networking groups that B and I do is I'm supposed to do like a one-on-one.
yeah,
And then sometimes you'll present on the other person's business, introduce them. But an easier way to do it for us would just be testimonials for each other.
Yeah.
Right? Like you don't just have to give a testimonial for Vernon. What if, hey Vernon, can we give a testimonial for somebody else too? We want to do that? We want testimonial for somebody else in the room that kind of casual?
good idea.
Awesome. Thank you. That's a great idea. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, we're giving away some books, so be brave. Who's got a mindset? Just a mindset. Yes.
Yeah, just being purposeful, putting the contacts that you get into a CRM, you know, it's simple.
Yep.
I use CRMs for other things. Why not for that? But it's something I'll implement.
Can I just give away one of your books? I'm supposed to give away the other books.
Those are you want your white. If you're supposed to get somebody else to do it at a time.
I want to make sure I was with like big room on halfway. So let's have
Just not momentum of the go here. There's special notes written in those. No one wants to see.
That's got some. There's got some systems around networking and being purposeful. I love that. Who's got one about mindset? Something that said that for me was dig the well before you're thirsty. Dig the well before you're thirsty. You know why I think about this? Because back in when I looked back into this month again in 2008, I used to follow somebody. There's a lot of people that were talking about resilient communities. Okay, and this is like non-insane preppers. But building resilient communities, going off grid, like what does that actually look like? Because if everything does go to hell in a handbasket, the most realistic way to prepare for that, obviously you can do some things and have some resources, but you know, it's having a community of people. Without a community of people, you were just stockpiling resources for somebody else. Okay? Without a community of people, someone else will take a shit. For sure. Right? But if you have a community of people that are interdependent upon each other, we know that will work because we're all here. That's how we got here. Right? So we built this entire country. It's like resilient communities interdependent upon each other. It's exciting stuff. That's my takeaway. He's got one takeaway on mindset. Move on to skills. Yes.
I don't know if you're wanting to, but
Go
I
ahead.
got 3 quick takeaways. I just got here after lunch, so I'll make them quick. When Megan was saying about her videos, if you go back and look at them way long ago, they were not the quality and everything that they are now. But she never quit and gave up. And then with Big Stone Queen here, she took her whole time to elevate each one of us before she even mentioned anything about herself. So that was significant to me. And if I could make an assumption here, Rich's biggest supporter, I think we all know who that is. Brooke's biggest supporter, I think we all know who that is. Really cool to see a husband and wife there, be a power team there, that they're having fun doing it together and building something special. So from a mindset there is that if they fail together, they're going to do it together. If they succeed together, they're going to do it together. And to me, that was just really significant and special. So those were like, where I just got here after lunch, 3 huge takeaways, because I've been reluctant to do videos and stuff because I hate the fact of editing. That bores me to tears. And
Me
if I
too.
can figure out a way
Freaking
to
hire.
and when I can afford how to do that, I probably will. I don't know if I'm there yet. But those are like 3 big takeaways: is elevating each other, build something together, and not giving up. And if you're starting here, that may be where you start, but that's not where she is now, and where you can continue to grow. So those 3 quick takeaways. That kind of repetitive mindset is do it anyways, do it to people you love, and then do it by elevating others.
Thank you. And I wish I had your slide up here, Rich and Brooke, because your summary slide, besides being the 1, 2, 3, right? But that summary slide of talking about presentation and how we show up and dressing for the room, right? Signature statement. So these boots, if I don't wear these boots, everyone asks me where my boots are. If I don't wear my boots to GRID, I'm telling you, everyone, I get asked every time about whether I'm wearing my boots. Okay? But asking a question or giving a great aha. Hey, Justin Myers, someone else at Knoxville, Tennessee, and asking a killer question is how you network. That is what we do. We go there. So I built the entire brand. You go, you pay for the VIP, you sit next to your other friends who are also like crushing it. You ask an amazing question. I'm asking, like, what question do I think would elevate the rest of the room? Or if I know the subject matter well enough, right? What's something that's going to be like interesting but not so niche that I shouldn't, I'm just asking a question to show up. We hate that question. The dumb question that's only a element to you. No, not that one, right? But the question you're like, that's a great way to do a commercial for yourself in front of the rest of the room to give us an idea of who you are, how you think, what your values are, right? All great stuff. Who's got another? Who's got another takeaway?
I don't have a takeaway, but what you just said, it all comes down to connection.
Yes. Yeah, 100%. So here's what I want to just
Hey, Justin,
Yeah.
I did want to share this. I meant to share this when I was up there. I was talking to my team yesterday about talking about networking. I'm like, man, there's so many things to talk about. And so they said, well, Rebecca, you're so good at networking. Why don't we give you a question? And you've got to find somebody in the room to fulfill that question. And I was like, game on. They gave it. I showed up today. I got a little nervous. There were like 20 people. You know, I was like, it's kind of specific. And you nailed it. It was somebody that was a pilot. Oh. And so when we're going around the room and you said that, I thought, man, I missed the opportunity. But that's the thing, is like, you don't know. It doesn't matter how many people were in the room. Like, it blows my mind that I did not use that example, but here it was, in even the smallest of groups. There's somebody who could fill
Brian,
it.
how am I doing on time? No. Okay. So here's what I would share, and this is I went to okay, cool. I went to Charleston. I thought I was going to hear a friend of mine speak for his organization, the crush race thing. On Thursday, 2 days before, I was flying up from another event I was at. I found out that I was speaking, and not only was I was speaking how to invest in real estate. I get these how to invest in Grant Cardone. That is a very big question, right? Where you go teach that because you got 30 doors. I do not have 30 doors. That's not what I do. I run this for Corey. Corey has doors, and I got it works. If you come to our community, there's we gonna wear a combo, right? Facilitation, strategy, but then there's Corey is like actively flipping and holding doors and doing it right now. I can tell you like what it looks, feels, smells, and tastes like. Right? I'm doing some different projects, so building inside. So I got there and I was like, I'm going to teach everyone how to do an elevator pitch. We did a just go back and did. We went around the room and what I found in this room of 12 people I had met before. There was deal flow, there was capital, there was mentorship, right? All the elements you need to do a deal right there in the room. They were not talking to each other. No one got their question. It genuinely, like everything you need is probably in the room that you're at. If you did, if you ask questions, and here's the biggest thing, like what is GRID? Why did it come to GRID? Run this investor meetup. It is a trust transfer network. I have trained all of these people on how to build social capital. You got to teach people like why it is important. When I raise my hand, say, you're looking to deal with somebody, you raise your hand, you know what I mean? And then I edify you, like this builds this tissue, right? And we're all interconnected. We're not trying to layer the nodes. I can get really tactical and tell you, like, I'm trying to layer the layers of, like, it's cool to be in this room. I know a ton of different people, so that has a ton of credibility because they know me in different kind of ways. It just happened, like, accidentally, because I do this all the time. So, give you a quick summary of what I heard today. We can wrap this thing up, I really like the burden of this. My advice to you would be just, what is your one action item? Pull out a piece of paper because you're not going to take, you have a real smart notebook. I know you are because that's what always happens. You have a real smart notebook. What am I going to take action on today? I heard a lot of great things. Am I going to actually go follow some accounts? Am I going to do that friend 21-day takeaway? Am I going to go sign up for a networking group? What am I going to do for my mindset? Right? When I put the person together, the whole world fell into place around me. Right? Because if I don't believe I deserve it, if I haven't done that work or I don't have the skills to seize the opportunity, it doesn't matter what I connect you with, you're not going to convert it. You're not going to be ready for it. Skills here. Be a storyteller. Like, what's my takeaway here in skills? Like, what am I actually going to do to grow my skills? Right? Or am I going to partner? Is there a who that I need that's going to help me with the skills, like the video editing that I don't want to do? That's a hiring somebody. That's a skill. If you've got money, money is a superpower. If you have money and money can solve a problem, you do not have a problem. So there you go. Congratulations, just solved that for you. Tell it to your partner and want to spend the money. All right. And then systems, like what system am I going to put into place around networking? So here's what I heard today. I'm going to summarize this for you really fast. Right. So Art took us on a journey, and that journey is very simple. Make friends. Just make friends. You know who else told me that? Rob Chavez, who was my partner that runs GRID, runs CASA, who is on the board of NAREP, the National Association of State Real Estate Professionals, sold $1 billion in real estate. He said, my job is to make friends. And when I heard that, I said, I can do that. Director of Expansion for Great National. I said, I can make friends. Shoot, I think I could be the best at making friends. I'm actually not kind of competitive about it, honestly. I just work harder at things no one else is working at. And if you want to go watch an amazing TED Talk on reasonable hospitality about the best restaurant in the world, the #1 on the Michelin Guide, talks about this. That they found opportunities for the dining experience to create value that no one else was working on. Within my social interactions, Charles does it. Like, how am I providing value in your no one else even thinking about doing it? You know what the best person for me is? Is Charles. Charles gives a much better pitch about me than I do. It's amazing. He talks about International, right? But Charles also got to tell him, I was like, come to Austin and try to give him a free ticket. The creator was like, take it, come. And he hung out with all of us, right? Talked to Rob and like, it's like, oh, this is crazy. This is so much bigger than Knoxville. We used to be on the same date as Charles. Me and my partner argued about it all the time. I was like, we have to move it. And then we moved it. And when Charles was on my favorite people, we started hanging out. Because we're not competition. It's a limited mindset. I tell everyone it's my favorite meeting to go to. It's by far more fun than mine. You don't have to talk at it. I can actually talk to me. I don't like Steve's the whole time. So making friends and a system to do so, and a philosophy with actual takeaways. If I did one thing, I might just do that. It's so simple, right? Charles taught us that forming deep connections. I think the first step of that is just knowing in your heart, right? I give everywhere I go, right? It's just a smile, a compliment of my full attention. Listening is the best gift I can give other people. Is that everyone deeply wants to be known. They want to be seen. They want to be valued, right? There's something divine and perfect within you, and show that to other people and give them a space to show it to you. I encourage you to do that. I promise I'll not increase your bank account, but I guarantee you will win. You will have more friends that you're right when you die. That will lead to a deep and fulfilling and purposeful life, which is what we all want, right? Lack of purpose is what's affecting so many of us. Bishop Rowe talked about being known. They also talked about doing this, and I love this, in a systematic way. This is a skill. This is a developable skill. So I highly recommend you get in rooms, right? Those are true. Like marketing is a skill. Using all the things he said, those are the tactics I do. If you give me the mic, you're gonna know who I am. It's not a competition, and I am gonna do my best on the court if I got the mic, right? That's it. I'm not afraid of anyone. I'll put it that way. I'm not intimidated. Like I deserve to be on that stage too. You gotta believe that, right? Rebecca, the lesson I got from Rebecca is take action. She found out this a week ago. She just took action. And it might be the best, most valuable part of any of this, right? Because she let all of us interact. She sacrificed her time to provide value to the group. And what better way to demonstrate the values and who you are? Because she's amazing. She can just talk about all of her stuff. We had a 4-hour meeting the other day, and it was real. Like this, so she could just have done that. Like she has all of the substance to back up, right? The sizzle, but she took action and she added value, right? And with Megan, a ton of things there. What I heard was build an audience and engage your audience. It's just that simple. Build your audience and engage your audience. If you told a story at the next party you were at, and 8 people all listened rapidly to your story, would you feel pretty good about yourself? You'd be like, right, Brooke? Right? Yes, I told you that one's done. You heard it 20 times before. If 20 people did, so if you've got 15 people that are engaging on your stories or are liking something, let's put this into context. That is a lot of people paying attention. Okay, you don't need 50 people to engage. You just need to go back and DM them. Oh, hey, what's going on? Ask questions. Be curious. That's what I'll leave you with. That's it. Anybody have any questions before I go? Just see where I can help you. Talk about any of this stuff.